Okay, I don't know how long I'll be able to film, but I want to see how to begin to tackle the complex problem of Canadian housing crisis through policy. I'm going to take on this challenge, so I want to see how to do it. And I'm going to use the skills that I have, which include tarot. So, Spirit, how do we begin to tackle the Canadian housing crisis through policy reform? How do we answer this question? How do we solve this problem? Justice, the sun. Princess of Swords at the back of the deck, the 10 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. Hold on. There's a little side story here. Oh God. I think the first thing is like making sure that we have to build something. We have to build new institutions. Yeah, I think we have to build new institutions, and then this seems to have something to do also with like the justice system. Something to do with the justice system, and also like a safe space for children. There's something between like children feeling seen and loved and safe and cared for. Yeah, and an institution. There's also like, we're gonna probably need to move away from like gathering materials independently and building our own spaces, and get comfortable with the idea of building spaces together, like community units, multi-generational living. But like, look at this flower. Isn't that so beautiful? I'm low-key sitting on a lot of them, but I think that's okay. But look at how like they're standing up. They're so beautiful. I freaking love dandelions. Yeah, like this independent housing, like everybody having their own separate house thing, probably isn't gonna work. But apartment complexes, I don't think are the answer. Like, instead of building up, we need to build out. Don't build up, build out. And I was thinking that like having like a community center at the center of these living spaces. So if you're building like big like community centers that are like nature filled, have gardens and all these things inside, I mean at the center, and then as it spreads out you have housing units attached, and this community center could also be like a shared like living room kind of idea. I think that that's kind of part of the answer. Oh my God. Because I think also what's part of the problem is that we also need to be solving the problem of loneliness and isolation. It's getting kind of cold. Move, cloud, please. Yeah, I think we need to think we need to move away from thinking for ourselves and thinking, you know, what can I build on my own? What can I have for myself? Yeah, we need to move away from selfish thinking where it's like, what can be mine and just mine, and move towards like, how can we build together? Yeah, how can we build housing together? So detached houses are probably not a thing. There could also be lots of materials in the ocean. I just saw 555, but there's something around using your intuition. For one, finally the sun's coming out. Hold on. There's something around using your intuition, but also like there might be materials that we can be using from the ocean, like waste that is stuck in the ocean, plastic waste that's being taken up in the ocean could be being used to build housing or something. There's something around recycling and how that can help solve the problem. It's like we might need to get innovative in the same way that we were as kids, where we would see garbage and we could make like a mountain out of it or make something really special out of it. We might need to become resourceful in that way. Yeah, like moving away from just like money. Maybe even like bargaining and sharing materials. Who did you just cut? Part of the problem though is that we need to solve the issue of greed and selfishness. Yeah, like we want to move away from hoarding the wealth. That's a concept we have to destroy. Yeah, there's something around like don't build higher. We don't want to build up. Something about staying rooted, staying closer to the ground. There's something about staying closer to the ground. Low housing. Yeah, I mean, shared living spaces, cohabitation. Also, perhaps living by water sources. Finding natural rivers, lakes. I know, but like, is this a dream world? Well, anything can happen. La, 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 la. Two of Cups, Three of Wands. Ow, ow, ow. Oh. Ow. There's something about like not living on your own. Being willing to not live on your own is like a thing. And you can have your own room, and you can even have your own like bathroom. But being willing to share space, being willing to share resources is important. Because there's something empty in, houses that are just for one person. Beautiful sunshine. Yeah, I think people, we don't realize how much we don't need everything separate. Also, stopping with the single-use things. Everything should be connected. Kind of like the path in downtown Toronto. Something like that. Also fixing the water so that fish live in the water again, so that we can swim in the water again. Fixing the water's ways that are near us so that they can be usable. Because the lack of cleanliness and life in the water, I think, is connected to the housing crisis. You want to live by a place that you can swim in. You want to live next to a lake you can swim in. You want to live next to a body of water that you can fish in and know that those fish are healthy. Something about the health of the water, like the health of maybe Lake Ontario, it's connected. Because the barrenness of the lake is what's also creating this scarcity. It's connected. Yeah, I think it makes things feel futile, or it creates a drought. A cognitive fog, even. There's something about letting water in, creating little waterways, little water pathways through the city, like streams, rivers, just little waterways everywhere. Creating water that runs through the city. Exposed water. Something about cleaning up the city will help help with housing. There's also maybe like a need to break up the concrete. Oh, where did that come from? The Prince of Wands, hold on. 3 of Cups, lots and lots of cups. There's something around water here. Like there needs everything should have like a center. The tower. Yeah, a lot of these buildings need to be brought down. They need to literally be destructed. And like the concrete needs to be broken up. Waterways need to be reintroduced to the city. The concrete needs to be broken up because like there's like some type of energy that like creates a fog and it blocks the air, it blocks the sun from shining, it blocks life from being able to reach the city. And it might have to do with like the use of too much stone in unnatural ways, the use of too high buildings blocking the sun. Yeah, like nature needs to be able to flourish. The trees need to be able to flourish and grow. We should be surrounded by more earth than we are our own creations. And trees should be above us. Our buildings shouldn't be above trees. Our buildings shouldn't beat the height of trees. We have to redesign our cities. Like all those tall buildings have to go. Sorry. Three of Cups. Shared units. And like, yeah, like water should be more accessible. Wow, yeah, lots around water. Like the city needs to be built around our water. Wow, look at all these cups. Hold on, I'm getting cold. A big old cloud just came. The city needs to be built around the access to water that we have. Like we should be able to easily pull water from Lake Ontario and it should be clean. But also like our rivers and our streams, people should be able to wade in them. People should be able to go boating. We need to be a water city because we are a water, I don't know if this is Ontario or Canada, I can't remember. We need to build ourselves around the water, around water. Water is our great resource. And we're drying up. We need to build our things around water. Wow. Let's see. Yeah, the only creatures that should have homes Up in the sky are the birds. Like, the sky is for the birds. We need to stay out. Also, there should be an ability to travel by boat around the city. That's kind of crazy, but you should be able to travel by boat. You should also be able to like we are a water nation. Traveling via boat should be more accessible. And we should create waterways to the point where you can, like, water taxis and things like that become more use than cars. Water trains, I don't know. And we need to put to rest all this commotion in the sky. Water is our most abundant resource. That's how we can receive. There's too many dying trees. It's like we've blocked out the sun. And we're also too focused on mining. We're too focused on mining. We're too focused on the earth and stone. We need to be shifting our attention to water. Water is the answer. But what, like, okay, but what in relation to water? The Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Seven of Swords. Ooh. And then the Star. I think we need to be more protective of our water resources. They need to be sacred. They need to be considered sacred. We need more ponds. We need to protect all of our water sources, like our ponds, our drinking water. I think we need to be more defensive of our water resources. We need to be more defensive of our water. We're too relaxed. We need to strengthen our water policies. If we strengthen our policies around water, it feels like it leads. Like, if we consider water sacred and strengthen our policies around water, consider like our relationship with water. We need to be at one with our relationship with water. We need a stronger relationship with our water, and one that is of value. This is where, like, indigenous wisdom, you know, considering our natural resources sacred, but especially our water. Yeah, because right now it's like the sea is it's turbulent, and I don't think we have a good relationship. And there's not enough fish. We need to protect our water. There's not enough fish. We need to protect the life in the water. We need to protect people's right to access water. It's like policies around water access, policies around the protection, the sanitation of water, water sanitation. There needs to be more collaboration, less competition. And less hoarding of the fisheries, less greed. We need to be sharing our resources with each other, and yeah, everything should be shared. More communal, like water policies. And more collaboration. We need to engage more with our water. It just needs to become a priority, to be honest. Water, like, I think water policy it's part of the problem. It's part of how we can help with the housing. But how? What is that? Oh, well, you know what? There's probably lots of like living opportunities near water. But it's like there's like this escape. Like people are escaping the water, escaping the coasts. People also need to be willing to spread out. Stop gathering in one space. People need to be willing to spread out. But people need to be supported in that process as well. Oh, maybe also people in our coastal cities, or like people who live near the water need to be supported, especially near waterways that are underappreciated, where there's problems. Like people who are living near waterways that are struggling, we need to speak to them, we need to prioritize them. Yeah, like our attention needs to go towards like communities who are struggling with water access, and maybe communities who specifically live near water, like beach communities. People who live near the water, people who live on the water. King of Pentacles. Okay, so what is this in response to? Whoa. Yeah, the hoarding of wealth. The water communities really need help. There's water communities that really need help. We need to confront the people hoarding the water, hoarding the wealth on the water. There are water communities that need help. The Emperor. There could be really relaxed laws, maybe, for water people. Could create a lot of exploitation. What is this? Well, first of all, water communities should not be gated communities, and they should not be turning them into just cottage life where you just go there for the summer and there's a lot of poverty for people who can't live there. There's a lot of forgotten resources there that are abandoned. Yeah, there's a lot of wealth and magic and possibility available that's being undervalued. So spirit is the answer to begin working with the water communities first. Seven of Wands. Taking a defensive stance. Defending our resources, defending our water resources. So is the answer to defend our water resources creating policies that defend our waters? Is the answer to create policies to defend our waters? Four of Wands. Okay, I think so. So in terms of policy answers and where to begin, I think we need to begin with creating defensive policies around water. Okay, we're on to something. This is cool. This is really connected to our mountain towns. Nine of Swords. We are made of water. We are made of water. And we are bleeding water. Like, water is our greatest resource. It's our most abundant resource. It's part of our answer. It's our greatest defense. Like, water is our greatest defense. It's our greatest power resource. Yeah, water is our power. Water is our power. Water is our wealth. We're focused on mining. All of the attention being put into mining needs to be put into water. It's not about the earth, it's about the water. Like, in terms of elements, it's not about earth, it's about water. Our attention and our energy and our defenses need to be going towards water, not the mountains. Not the mountains. They need to be going towards water. That is so interesting because water has been coming up in so many readings around, like, moving to the coast, moving to water, closer to water. Yeah. That's been coming up a lot, so it's crazy that this is part of the answer. And we need to take, like, a strong defensive stance. We cannot be weak. We cannot be weak and we cannot be passive. We need to take a strong defensive stance around water. Strong policies. Judgment. What is this Three of Pentacles talking about? Three, 9, 9, 4. Seven, 7. Hold on. Ask what this Pentacles are talking about. Maybe. 7 Cups, 7 of Wands. Ow. Seven of Cups, Seven of Wands. Oh, we need to be defending against, we need to create hard-lined policies against businesses that create a lot of waste in our water. Like, we need to be very protective against businesses that are creating water waste, that create pollution, that create water pollution. The businesses that are the biggest contributors to water pollution, through waste, through air pollution, all of those businesses, there needs to be hard lines drawn with those businesses. They need to be confronted and tackled. Policies around water pollution, like holding corporations accountable, businesses accountable that create water pollution. The universe. Yeah, because it's messing with our entire ecosystem. Like, the pollution that's happening to the water it's disrupting our entire ecosystem, especially the plastics. Yeah, and it's killing a lot of us. It's creating a lot of pollutants in the air. It's also affecting our breathing air. Yeah. Okay. The Star. Can you speak more about the Star? Cold again. Oh, I've got dandelion pollen all over my thingy. Okay. Come on, sun. Oh, now the clouds are moving a different direction. That might be cold for a while. Okay. The Star. Can you speak more to the Star, Spirit? In relation to what we've been talking about. The Three of Cups. The Princess of Pentacles. Yeah, cohabitating with the earth, cohabitating with the water. We need to support industries, businesses, communities that cohabitate with water. We need to support, like, living amongst the earth. Policies that build off of, indigenous wisdom, that policies that consider the earth sacred, policies that empower the earth, policies that make the earth our resource. Rather than seeing us and our intelligence as the resource, we need to see earth as the ultimate resource, and we need to lead from that with respect and integrity. Policies that give the power back to the planet. Thinking about how we can work in tandem with the earth, how we can answer the earth's calls. Policies that make it so that it's a call and a response type of system. What the earth says, we respond to, rather than us doing things and then just seeing what how the earth reacts. We need to we need to react to what the earth does, rather than having the earth react to what we do. We should be pulling from the sky. We should be receiving from the sky. Also, there could be something here around rainwater. Collecting rainwater, like having a rainwater collection system, might lead to a lot of abundance, especially in coastal towns or places where you're near a waterway. And using the water to also feeding the water back into our vegetation systems, creating ponds, creating lakes in our vegetation systems, within our land, within our forests, will help bring aliveness back to our forests. So creating ponds, creating lakes, creating rivers and streams. What is this Eight of Cups talking about? Oh, I'm cold. Decisive. We need to take more decisive action against those we see creating pollutants. We need to ask why people are leaving the water. Why are people leaving the water? Why are we running away from the water? We need to look into that. Why are we running away from the water? Why are we trying to build up? What is it about the water that we feel like we can't understand? There's some type of scarcity mindset when it comes to water. What are we lacking? We need to ask more questions in relationship to our water. Like, why have we gotten to this point? What is it about the water that we're struggling to understand, and how can we fix that relationship? How can we find clarity? Why are we moving? Spirit, why are we moving away from the water? Like, what's the problem? Why are we struggling with the water? Why do we not know how to process it? Why do we not understand it? We could also be holding on to an old story about water. Wow, the Queen of Swords. I think it's the depth of it. I think that the depth of water, the lack of control, ability. But the water is our connection point, because it's also connected to the sky. The water is connected to the sky. That's why it's our answer. So we feel more at peace. We feel more comfortable in air energy. There's something about water that we are triggered by. Why? Yeah, even though we know the answer is down here in the water. But there's something we feel uncomfortable with about water. There's something we feel triggered by. We've locked ourselves away from it. We've been running from the water. Why have we been running from the water? There's a defensiveness. We reach higher and higher trying to find some type of clarity, but the answers are down here. But why have we been running from the water? Why have we been running from the water? What is it? Why have we been running from the water? It could be a lack of spiritual understanding for water. Hey. It could be a need for emotional healing. There could be a need for emotional healing. Reconnection. It might be spiritual reconnection. We might spiritually need to reconnect with water. Especially because we've been looking up so much at the sky and considering that the place where we'll find all the answers. Using our intelligence, we don't use our emotions enough. We don't use our emotions enough. Indigenous wisdom, feminine wisdom, woman wisdom. Even children know. Oh, that big old dog, so cute. Spirit. Some type of ego death needs to happen. We need to free ourselves. We need to free our spirits. This is a spiritual conversation just as much as it's a political conversation, just as much as it's an earth ecosystem conversation. It's all connected. Our lack of value for the indigenous, our lack of value for women, our lack of value for other forms of intelligence, emotional intelligence, our lack of emotional intelligence, it all connects to why we don't value our water. 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands. Like, we want to build instead of flow. Why do we want to build instead of flow? We want to do more work than we actually need to. Canada is a nation that could coast. Canada is a nation where life could actually be easy, free-flowing, if we went with the energy of water. Why are we escaping that? Why do we want to build so much? We feel tied down. It's like we feel burdened by it. We feel escaped by it. There's this rebellious energy. And we're like, we don't want to do that. We want to go into the bush and build. But the water is the answer. We need to change our mindset. We need to change our mindset around like what success looks like, what freedom looks like, what living looks like. We need to choose a new way of life. We need to change direction. Yeah, we need to choose the peaceful life. I think we're trying to be this developing big nation. We're meant to be a peaceful country. Very idyllic, very tranquil. We're quiet. We're a quiet space. We need to accept that instead of trying to be loud and aggressive and dominating, which is what we embody when we're building upward, when we're working with so much stone. We have beautiful mountains, but they are meant to watch over us, look over us. We're not meant to build like the mountains. We're not meant to be that. We're meant to be more in flow, more at ease, more peaceful, less building, more natural flow. I don't think we're meant to have very complex structures, architecture, unless it's complex in working with the water, like a winding path, winding ways. Everything there should be more movement. Things shouldn't be so stagnant, so still, so linear. There needs to be more curves, more flow, more rhythm, more movement. Embodying the energy of Turtle Island, a sea creature and a land creature. We really need to dig back into that indigenous wisdom. We really do. We need to trust where we are being guided. We are being guided to follow the path of the river. Follow the waterways. Build the way the river runs. Build in the direction that the river runs. Build in the direction the water tells us to. And do not disrupt water paths. Yeah, we need to go deeper into the water. And not in terms of like disrupting, but we need to become more connected. we're looking, like what we're looking for in the coal mines, nah, we're not finding what we need in the coal mines. It's not the mines. The mines are not the answer. Trying to climb that mountain is not the answer. The answer is in the water. The answer is in the river. The answer is also in our forests. The answer is in our forests and in our river. Not in the mines, not in the mountains. We need to let the mountain go. Let the mountain go. Let it be. Mountains are meant to be mostly undisturbed. That's why right now this obsession with crystals, it's like, you know, I don't know what energy those crystals hold. We need to be focusing on the water and our forests, especially like connecting those two, connecting the forests and the water, connecting our plants, life, and water. We need to change direction. We literally need to shift direction. Like, especially in like where we are getting our money from, where we're trying to build our power and our wealth in the world. We need to redirect from being a mining country to being a water country. We are a water nation. We need to reshape our identity to be around water. Our identity needs to be closely connected with water, not with mountains. Yes, we are a water nation. We are water people. Stop running away from our identity. We need to talk about, like, we need to go listen to the creation stories of indigenous people. Where did they focus? Where did they focus their attention on? The Hierophant. Yeah, there's an old story. There's an old story that we need to listen to. The Hierophant. Deep within. This could be something we're already kind of being called towards. And we need to stop avoiding the path. We need to rebalance our ecosystem. We need to rebalance our ecosystem, focus our attention on our ecosystem, rebalance our relationship with the earth. Yeah, we need to bring massive change. To be honest, we need to create massive change. We need to disrupt the system as we know it. Because we need the new generation to think of themselves differently. 88, we need the new generation to think of themselves differently. Like, the next generation of Canadians need to see themselves as a water people and as an earth people. Like, Canada needs to be redefined. It doesn't need to be known for its industry, for its tech, for its buildings. It needs to be known for its earth, for its nature, for its harmony with nature, its balance with nature. We need to stop trying to be things that we are not. Oh, look at that little bee. It's nice to see the bees. Redefining our identity. We need to redefine our identity, and that can really happen strongly through policy. Reshaping our identity through policy by taking an aggressive stance in favor of protecting our water, protecting our natural resources, protecting them, defending them, not exploiting them. How do we relate this to housing? The Fool. It's a new beginning. Let it flow. It'll come together. Ah! I have have to go grab those. I'll be back. Strength. The star. There is wisdom. Wisdom is being unlocked. Yeah, we've been living in a ghost world. We've been following a story that has no life to it, that has no grounding to it. We need to wake up and see the truth. We literally need to take a new path. Like, we have to. And we have to like free fall into it. We have to just trust that it's going to work out. Because I think that like we are a nation that is directed by the earth. You know, like that it is what it is. Like we are guided by the earth. The earth tells us what to do. And when we listen, we find incredible abundance when we listen. But when we try to control it, it just doesn't work that way. Yeah. I don't think that it just... I hope that I didn't just flash you guys. Yeah, and I think that it's also because like I think that the people here need more connection to water. It's part of like what helps. Too much mental energy in Canada, too much air energy, too much focus on stone, too much focus on the mountains. It's actually a problem. Like, focusing on water is actually spiritually what's best for Canada. It brings more harmony to like the people here as well. Like people who live in this area of land, like this geographical area on the planet, they need to, it needs to be focused around water. Like this is like a water center for the planet. It's very important that our water is our primary expression, which also means when it comes to the way we act and the way our governments act, the way our communities live, it needs to be in flow. It needs to really embody the different elements of water. And until we accept that, we're going to be struggling. We're trying too much to be air. We're trying too much to be air. We need to redirect our attention, redirect our energy towards being water, embracing water. That means embracing emotional intelligence, embracing the feminine, embracing all things connected to water. Water, 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 water. And then we can use our fire to support that. We can use our manpower. We can use our gun power. We can use our military force. We can use our fight, our strength to support that. But our fight and our strength needs to be backing water. Water. Yeah, we need to let go of this focus on air, this focus on aviation, this focus on air. There's also something around like local community. You know, Canada is huge. So trying to be tethered, you know, from coast to coast is kind of hard. But your local community, building up local communities, creating policy that focuses on, because water is so complex, right? Like there's streams, there's rivers, there's lakes, there's oceans. Creating policies that are like, that focus on local experiences based on the water, the type of water in that area. Our policies really should be shaped by whatever water exists in whatever area. So policies should be geographical. And our geographical, like all of our understandings of who we are should be, our maps, everything should be guided around the water and around family, community. I think we need like smaller community units where there can be more intimacy. Yeah, no apartment complexes. Apartment complexes don't work here. They just don't. Yeah, apartment complexes do not work here. We need to have policy that focuses on family and focuses on like water. Like we need to map ourselves out by water. Following our intuition, intuitive initiatives. Our judgment really needs to be guided by our connection to family, our connection to the earth, our connection to nurturing and to community. We will find our justice in caring for the earth and caring for our resources, our natural resources. And like combining our earth's relationship with our families. We need to let ourselves be guided away from big cities and big towns. That's not who we're meant to be. And it's kind of medieval. Like it gives us like a kind of dark ages energy. It creates a lot of cloudiness, a lot of fog. It's why people leave here and they find a lot of success. But you come here and you lose all your magic. But there's so many successful Canadians around the world. It's because Canada has like a dark energy, like a cloudy, foggy energy over it. There's a cognitive fog. It's too heavily engaged in stone energy, in air energy. We need to open up to our intuition. Break down the apartment complexes. Like tall apartment buildings are not the answer. They're not the answer. And fate is going to break them down if we don't. There could be earthquakes. There could be earthquakes that open up and create like waterways. Or we need to break ground, disrupt the concrete. We need to break up concrete and allow water to come back into our streams, run through our cities, run through our towns. We don't need to really be like a nation of cities. We can be a nation of towns. We're more so a cottage nation. A lot more relaxed, a lot more peaceful, multi-generational homes, community-centered. We need to transform, is what it's basically saying, which is like there's a lot of work that's been put into this country, but it's not going to work. We're not going to find what we're searching for if we stay with that. We need to follow where the water leads us. There's also something around like where there's smoke, there's fire. Ooh. Oh God. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Like we need to wake up and see clearly. These mountain businesses, Sorry. The mountains might do something if we don't stop this. Like there could be some type of eruption, there could be earthquakes, there could be avalanches, I don't know. But the mountains might react if we don't leave it alone. We need to leave the mountains alone and go answer the call of the sea, go answer the call of the water. Leave the mountains alone. Yeah, there's a crack in the foundation. We're leaving it too scarce. It's too reactive. There's greater intelligence in the water. There's greater intelligence in the earth, like in the forests. And not for lumber, but in building up the forest. We can pull greater intelligence from the earth. I mean, from the sky, from the water. Water is the answer. Rainwater is also part of the answer. There's life just waiting to unfold. Ideas. There's a lot of business opportunity. There's a lot of abundance available if we shift direction, turn towards water, leave the mountains alone. The water is calling us. The water is calling us. The water is calling us. This is a side note. I have a question, personal question. Oh my god, my son's going away. I need to move. Should I drain that water? There's also something here around timing, like we don't have all the time in the world, and like the sun is setting. Seriously, I mean, this is very this is significant that the sun is literally setting where I am, and it's like, seriously, the sun is setting. If we don't begin to answer these questions, or if we don't begin to be honest with ourselves about what needs to change, there are things that are going to come up that we can't see, that we don't know anything about, that will be very hard to deal with. And the earth will start to react. You don't want the earth to react to you. You want the earth to direct you, and you react to the earth. You don't want the earth reacting to you. It's not a great experience. We don't have all the time in the world. These changes need to be implemented. Yeah, okay, so, Jesus. The Queen of Swords. We might need to get a little, we need to take this new knowledge, this enlightenment that's coming forward, and we might need to get a little harsh with it. We might need to get, we need to speak up, and we might need to get a little aggressive with it. We need to stop being so, passive. We might need to be more assertive, more aggressive, because it's serious, The lack will spread, and the lack will continue. The lack will spread, and the lack will continue if we don't access our power and speak up, say something, do something. We need to address these institutions. We need to address, the wealth. We need to come for those, in power, for those with wealth, for those who are hoarding. We need to call judgment upon them. As the people, we need to take the power into our own hands. We need to seek justice. And we're stronger when we work together. We can collaborate. Share your ideas. Share your ideas. Share what you notice. Ask the earth. Ask the earth questions. Ask the earth, what do you think about this? How does this work with you? How do we do this? What do you need? Engage with your planet. Work with your planet. There are answers. There are lots and lots of answers that are being given out, doled out. You need to be open to listening and receiving. Look at how the earth is reacting. Learn from it. Listen to the earth right now. Listen to what the earth is doing right now. And respond. Respond to the earth. Don't ignore the earth and wait to respond to your government. Respond to the earth. Listen to the earth. Respond to what the earth asks you to do. Listen to the earth. Don't listen to, just respond to the earth. Listen to the earth. We need to have policies that listen to the earth. Respond to the earth, not to corporations. We shouldn't be answering to corporations. We should be answering to the earth. Yeah. We're letting it steal our peace. We're letting these corporations rob us of our peace of mind, our peace of heart, health, emotional clarity. Our spiritual health is at risk because of these corporations, because of the pollution, because of the contamination. We're going to be in a country of people who are not at peace. There's no rest. There's no peace. We're not going to have peace. We might have war. If we continue to focus all of our energy on the mountains, we could end up in a war. We could. I don't know, it could be corporate, it could be another country, I don't know. There could be a civil war, I don't know. That's something that I've actually spoken about before. I don't know if this is an extension of that, but our peace is at risk. Our emotional peace, spiritual peace, physical peace, our health is at risk. It's been at risk, but the risk is growing, The risk is growing. So, we need to be more proactive. And we need policies that answer to the earth, that respond to the earth. And not in, we don't want to have reactionary systems, but right now we need to react to what the earth is doing, We need to react. But yeah. Okay. I think that's it for now. I'm going to go home, do research, start writing things. I'm excited. Bye.